Should you send cold emails or LinkedIn messages? Which one is more efficient and which one's more cost effective? Hi, I'm Hakami, founder of Wiza, the best platform to easily create prospect lists from LinkedIn. Being the founder of a LinkedIn prospecting tool, naturally I've sent a ton of cold emails and a ton of LinkedIn messages. In fact, I've probably sent over 1 million cold emails at the time of recording this video. So in this video, I'm going to compare the pros and cons of using LinkedIn InMail messaging versus cold emailing and break down the costs and the limitations of each. So let's start with LinkedIn InMail. LinkedIn InMail is a feature that allows LinkedIn users to send private messages to anyone on the LinkedIn platform. InMail is available to users with a premium LinkedIn subscription. So what are some of the pros of LinkedIn InMail? First is direct access. So it allows you to message anyone on LinkedIn and it bypasses the need for a connection. It's also typically going to have a higher response rate compared to email. And that's because it's going to just a less crowded inbox. It's also fast if you're already doing work on LinkedIn. You don't need to spend any time trying to figure out an email address, bouncing between tools. You just send it straight from LinkedIn. Another benefit is that LinkedIn's a professional environment. So it's ideal for reaching out to any professionals in a specific industry or role, and LinkedIn makes it super easy for you to search for that. There's also some credibility with LinkedIn. So when you send a message, they can see your photo, they can see your job title, they can click to your profile. And so you have an opportunity to show a bit more about yourself and get a better response rate. Whereas with email, it's a bit more just kind of a name in their inbox. A nice benefit with LinkedIn InMail is that there's also the ability to include attachments. So if you want to attach anything sales related, any sort of collateral, you can do that with LinkedIn InMail. The biggest cons of LinkedIn InMail, the first is going to be the cost. So InMail is only available to LinkedIn premium subscribers, and so you have to pay for that. It has a limited number of credits based on your plan. And so you might be waiting month to month for more credits, and you just can't reach out to as many people as you wanted to. Response rates. So there's variable success. While response rates can be higher, success varies depending on the message and the recipient that you're sending it to. There's also some spam concerns. Some users view InMail as spammy, especially if they receive a lot of them. So just keep that in mind. There's also some limitations on the content that you can actually send. So you can send text with a subject line and an attachment, but there's no opportunity to do like inline photos or bold text or colors or anything like that. So you're very much limited to the LinkedIn messaging guidelines. Another big one is follow-ups. With LinkedIn InMail, there is no ability to do any kind of follow-ups. So you get that first message and you have to make a count. There's also visibility. So while you are setting to a less crowded inbox, some people just don't go on LinkedIn often and don't check their LinkedIn messages, and you don't know who those people are per se. So if you're sending LinkedIn messages to those people, you're wasting your credits on them. And if you don't have a very established LinkedIn profile with profile photo, cover photo, and all those things properly set up, your LinkedIn messaging is probably not going to get very good results. So it is dependent on having a good looking LinkedIn profile. Last but not least is the scalability. So LinkedIn messaging is not very scalable at all. You can't do any sort of mass campaigns. It's all one by one. So much more targeted and not scalable. So let's take a look at cold email. Pros of cold email. The first is that it's really, really cost effective. So it's a lot more affordable than LinkedIn InMail. There's no direct cost to send an email to someone except for the investment of some kind of email finding tool and some kind of email sending tool, but those are still going to be vastly cheaper than LinkedIn. The next is scalability. Simply put, email outreach is super easy to scale. You can send a large volume of emails simultaneously, reaching a really wide audience, something that you can't do with LinkedIn. The next is personalization. So cold emails can be highly personalized and get better engagement rates. So personalized emails could achieve, upwards of a 25% reply rate and even higher than that. There's also the flexibility. So cold emails can be easily modified and tested. You can use different templates and content, and all these email sending tools exist to help you have that flexibility, something that doesn't exist on LinkedIn. The biggest one, as we mentioned before, is on follow-up. With email, you can follow up with someone as many times as you want. So you can do A/B testing and optimization to continually improve your campaign's effectiveness and keep following up with prospects until they eventually give you a response. So what are some of the cons of cold email? So the first is going to be deliverability issues. So cold email requires constant monitoring to your email deliverability status. So ensuring that you're landing in the inbox and not going to spam. You're going to need proper setup and maintenance, email domains. And so that's one headache with cold email. Next is going to be lower reply rates. So cold emails often have a lower reply rate due to the volume of emails that people just receive every day. There's an average response rate of 1 to 10% for cold emails, so it is going to be lower than LinkedIn InMail. Next is going to be the data. So most prospecting tools don't always find prospects' email addresses. So when you use a prospecting tool, you might actually get back only half of the search on LinkedIn. So if you're missing out on half the prospects you could be reaching out to, that's going to be a con with cold email. Luckily, if you use Wiza, that's not going to be a problem. Wiza finds upwards of 90% of a LinkedIn search. So that other 10%, you might want to use LinkedIn InMail for, but we're going to get the vast majority of them. And LinkedIn emails are also going to be verified using Wiza. So the accuracy is guaranteed and you're not going to deal with bounce rates and hurting your domain reputation. One con worth mentioning with cold emailing is that some brands don't like the look of cold emailing. It has some negative perceptions in the market as being spammy. So you should be aware if you're working for maybe a larger company that doesn't want their employees doing cold email, that sometimes there are some perception issues with cold email. Okay, so now let's take a look at a direct comparison between email and LinkedIn InMail. Reply rate. Cold emails often have a lower reply rate because email boxes are generally more overloaded. The average response rate is between 1 to 10%. However, highly personalized and well-crafted cold emails can achieve up to 20% reply rates. With LinkedIn messages, you'll typically have a higher reply rate on each message because LinkedIn inboxes are less crowded. The reply rate's anywhere from 5 to 20%. Follow-up velocity. So with emails, it often takes up to 7 follow-up emails to get a response from your prospect. It's worth noting that persistence is key in email outreach. So setting up an automated email drip campaign can do wonders for your reply rate to get it to actually be higher than LinkedIn messages. For LinkedIn, responses often come quicker, but there is no ability to actually follow up. So your entire campaign might have a lower response rate, even though that first message did better. Deliverability. With emails, you need to constantly monitor and optimize your email sending practices to ensure your messages land in the recipient's main inbox and not in the spam folder. This involves maintaining domain reputation and properly setting up email domains, and also making sure you have valid email addresses. With Wiza, every email we provide is verified before we provide it to you, so you don't need to worry about that step in maintaining your email deliverability. With LinkedIn, there are no deliverability issues. If you send a message to a prospect, the recipient will receive it. However, direct messages can only be sent to your first-degree connections. So if you want to send to anyone that you're not connected to, you're going to have to use one of your InMail credits. Data management. Most email finders don't always find all prospect emails, and the found emails then need to be verified, even lowering the number of emails that you get from a LinkedIn search. Wiza makes this process super easy by letting you just export entire LinkedIn searches, finding all the emails, and verifying those emails. With LinkedIn, it's a bit easier. LinkedIn URLs are consistent, making data management a lot simpler. Even if someone changes jobs or changes job titles, their LinkedIn URL is going to remain the same. So it ensures you can always reach them if you have those URLs organized. Okay, so this is the big contender, the cost. With emails, there is a cost associated with finding the emails, as it often requires using some kind of email finder tool. And the cost can add up depending on the volume of emails that you need per month. So with Wiza, for example, you can find 300 emails per month for $50 per month, around 20 cents per email, but some tools are higher and some are lower. Then there's the email sending tool. Email sending tools typically allow you to send as many emails as you want, so it's just kind of the one-time cost, and that's going to depend on which tool you like. Generally, they're $30 to $100 per month, somewhere in that range. With LinkedIn messages, there's no way around it. It's one of the most expensive forms of direct outreach if you want to reach someone outside of your network. While LinkedIn messages can of course be sent for free to your existing connections, if you want to reach someone outside your network, it's going to cost anywhere from $29 to $120 per month to get, 5 to 30 InMail credits. So you're really limited on the number of credits you get, and the cost is anywhere from like $1 to $5 per InMail credit. So sending 1,000 InMails would be impossible because you need so many LinkedIn accounts, but it would also cost thousands of dollars. Whereas with a tool like Wiza, you can get 1,000 emails for $100. So it's going to be a lot cheaper to use cold email. Scalability. Email outreach is super easy to scale. You can create multiple email addresses, warm them up, and send a really large volume of emails. However, just keep in mind you need to be cautious with that to avoid landing in spam. Wiza makes it super easy to find thousands of prospects on LinkedIn and find all their contact information so that you can scale this up with a cold email sending tool in a few domains, and you'll be able to send thousands of emails per week in no time. With LinkedIn, scaling messaging is basically impossible. It's going to be based on the number of InMail credits that you have, and so you can't scale up to thousands per month. You're pretty limited by the plan that you're on. Also with LinkedIn, there are no tools to automate the InMail process because there's so few credits, so it's basically has to be done by you by hand. In conclusion, the choice between cold email and LinkedIn InMail largely are going to depend on the specific objectives, the target audience, and the resources of your campaign. In the optimal outreach strategy, a combination of both cold email and LinkedIn InMail can be used to leverage the strengths of each. And there's no easier way to combine LinkedIn outreach and cold email than with Wiza. Imagine being able to tap into LinkedIn's vast network, extract the most valuable leads, and have them neatly organized and ready for you to email. Every email with Wiza is verified, ensuring you reach real people every time. So if you want to transform your LinkedIn lead generation game and make every outreach count, check out wiza.com to start creating prospect lists from LinkedIn. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos on everything LinkedIn and business growth. Thanks for watching.